Okay, we're reading Aidan of Oren. The journey begins, and we are in chapter 23, called Damon. Last chapter, in chapter 22, Charles, the regal falcon from the Wingdom, the family of Wingdom, royal family of Wingdom, he went out looking for a gift. He wanted to give Aidan a gift. And he found what he thought was a giant pearl, but in reality, it turned out to be an egg that hatched a baby dragon. And so now we're up to chapter 23, called Damon, page 153. Mackenzie ran up to the hatchling and threw her arms around it as she said, "I can't believe it, my very own baby dragon." "Easy," said Mackenzie said Aidan as he pulled Mackenzie back. "He doesn't belong to us. I'm almost afraid to ask where his mother is."
He doesn't look like a baby dragon to me," exclaimed Charles. "Besides, even if dragons existed at all, they're supposed to be red. Look at him. He's white."
Charles had a point. Aidan had always heard that dragons were red. He reached for his pendant and looked at it. This was his only proof of what a dragon should be like. And sure enough, it was a deep, translucent red. Aidan tried to reason with the baby. "Maybe you're really a very large bird. I've seen some fairly large white birds before." "No," said the little dragon with a hint of laughter in his voice. Aidan thought harder. "Maybe you're one of those duck-billed things." "No, said the little dragon again. His peculiar voice made him sound almost as if he were laughing. "I'm a baby dragon." He looked sharply at Aidan. "Mama?"
"I told you," Charles shouted at the baby dragon. "Aidan is not your mama. Do you understand?"
The baby dragon turned his head a bit and looked straight at Charles. "Who's the chicken?"
"I am not a chicken,"
said an enraged Charles. Mackenzie started laughing so hard she fell down.
"I am a regal falcon from the royal family of Wingdom,"
he continued, his feathers fully ruffled. "You talk funny," said the baby dragon. At this point, Lily was laughing as hard as Mackenzie. Aidan tried very hard to maintain his composure, but he knew there was a smile creeping across his face. Charles hopped off Aidan's arm and walked away in a huff. Aidan knelt down next to the baby dragon and looked in his eyes. "You're not dangerous, are you? There's something you should know," he added. "We're on a journey, and we need to get moving ahead before it gets too late in the day." The little dragon just sat there with a very pleasant expression on his face, looking at Aidan. "Well, all right then," said Aidan. "We'll be off now. I trust that you'll be all right." "No," Mackenzie exclaimed. "We can't just leave him here all by himself. He's just a baby." "Aidan," said Lily, "if he thinks you're his mother, he obviously doesn't know where his real mother is. That would make him an orphan, wouldn't it?" "Just like us," added Mackenzie softly. "We wouldn't want to abandon an orphan now, would we?" "Oh, Lily," said Aidan, "honestly, it doesn't really matter what you or I think, because it's not our decision whether or not the baby dragon comes with us." Aidan kneeled down next to the little fellow. "The decision is his." "Oh, say you want to come with us," shouted Mackenzie to the baby dragon, but he just sat there staring at Aidan. "Well, little fellows," said Aidan, "do you want to come with us?" The baby dragon just looked at Aidan and very softly said, "Mama." Aidan shook his head. "Well, he's too big to carry. If he wants to come with us, he can. If not, well, he'll just have to look after himself. But whatever the outcome, we need to be on our way." Aidan turned and headed deeper into the dead forest. Lily and Mackenzie lagged behind, glancing back at the baby. But he just sat there saying, "Mama, Mama," very softly over and over again. The girls soon caught up to Aidan and Charles. By then, Mackenzie had started to cry. Lily wrapped her arms around her and told her everything would work out all right.
"We're better off without him,"
Charles sneered, not even looking back at the girls. Then he put his head down and started shuffling his tiny feet through the twigs on the ground.
"Besides, he's probably got some nasty disease or something."
His words grew softer.
"And he'd be a very large burden to us isn't that right? I mean, what would one feed a baby dragon?"
What am I hearing? Asked Aidan. Does Charles really have a soft spot? Just then they heard a strange pitter-pattering noise. Through the trees came the baby dragon. He had been following them. His walk was quite funny, with his big feet flopping in front of him, but he did seem fully capable of moving about.
The baby dragon!
Shouted Charles and Mackenzie together as they ran over to it. Charles wrapped his wings around him, and Mackenzie wrapped her arms around them both. He wants to come with us, Mackenzie said.
Oh, you're smashing me,
came a muffled cry from Charles. Aidan was pleased. It did appear that the baby dragon had made the choice to follow them. Well, if you're going to join us, you'll need a name. I think I'll call you Damon. Damon, echoed Mackenzie. I like it. Lily nodded approval as she said, well, then Damon it shall be. And there's a picture of the baby dragon that they have named Damon. And that is it for chapter 23 of Aidan of Oren, The Journey Begins.